Texas' dirty little secret. Bitcoin, black communities, and the energy crisis. Howdy there, crypto enthusiasts and blockchain believers. Andrew here, your host at BitsPuls, bringing you the inside scoop on the latest happenings in the world of digital currencies and all things blockchain. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been creating quite the stir in the Lone Star State. The intersection of Bitcoin, energy struggles, and the impact on black communities. Bitcoin, a shiny new way to lose money. Let's face it, folks. Bitcoin is more than just a fancy new way to lose your hard-earned cash. In Texas, it's also fueling the state's energy woes as they brace for another scorching summer. And guess who's caught in the crossfire? Black communities bearing the brunt of the heat and pollution. Black communities. Ground zero for climate change, data centers, and power plants. Last summer, during Texas' deadliest summer on record, black folks suffered the most. Stories of infants and elderly postal workers dying from heat-related illnesses sparked national outrage. This brutal heat wave only intensified the state's power grid operators' desperate attempts to keep the lights on. Texas's solution: more fossil fuel power plants. After a brutal winter storm in 2021 exposed the state's vulnerability to extreme weather, Texas went on a hunt for ways to ensure a steady supply of electricity during disasters. Their solution? New fossil fuel power plants. But here's the catch: data centers and crypto mining. While the state claims these new power plants are needed to meet demand from severe weather and population growth, a recent forecast by ERCOT, the state's electric grid operator, reveals that a significant chunk of that demand will come from data centers and crypto processing. Data centers and crypto mining, the energy guzzlers. Basically, the state is building polluting power plants, historically harmful to black communities, to support industries that experts say widen the economic gap and discriminate against black individuals. Clean energy, the smarter choice. Despite studies showing that clean energy sources like wind and solar are more reliable and cheaper to produce than fossil fuels, Texas decided to subsidize $10 billion worth of new gas power plants after last summer's heat wave. Black communities, disproportionately impacted. Nationwide, low-income black communities face the highest levels of air pollution from power plants and the greatest risk of death from such pollution. In Texas, over 75% of the state's gas power plants are located in areas with a higher-than-average population of people of color. The get-rich-quick mentality. Texas's infatuation with crypto mining and other energy-intensive industries isn't solely their fault. The immense power required to process complex algorithms and transactions fuels these industries' insatiable appetite for electricity. Texas, a crossroads for energy inequity. As Texas grapples with its energy challenges, it faces a crossroads. It can prioritize the well-being of vulnerable populations like black communities living near fossil fuel power plants or align with industries that exacerbate their struggles. Energy CEO. Economic growth over environmental concerns. Energy CEO Eliezer Viamontes justifies his company's decision to build new fossil fuel power plants in Texas by citing the state's push for business growth and economic development. Without these new plants, he argues, there's a risk of losing economic growth in the region. Black communities, bearing the brunt of economic growth. But economic growth for whom? The rise of crypto finance, particularly an industry initially marketed as a tool to reduce economic inequality, shows that its values may directly conflict with improving life for black communities. Bitcoin mining, a drain on resources. As Texans sweltered in triple-digit heat last August, the grid operator paid millions to Bitcoin mining and data center companies to reduce their energy consumption. It's a tactic Texas may need to employ during future summers as well. Crypto's impact on non-investors. Cryptocurrencies have also increased costs for those not even invested in the currency. In Texas, crypto mining has already raised electricity prices for non-mining Texans by $1.8 billion annually, or 4.7%. Black communities, misinformed and misrepresented. Kimberly Walter, an activist in the Texas community hosting a crypto finance firm that was paid $32 million to reduce its energy use last summer, says, "We've been extremely misinformed because our local leaders haven't made it a priority to talk with us about what's happening." Crypto, a false promise for black investors. Surveys show that black individuals are more likely than white people to invest in cryptocurrencies and more likely to mistakenly believe the industry is regulated and safe. Black crypto investors are also more likely to borrow money to make their investments. The Gulf South, a history of exploitation. With the rise of natural gas production nationwide, Energy companies and government agencies aren't adequately addressing the history of devastation that oil and gas have had on the Gulf South and communities of color, says Robert Bullard, the father of environmental justice. Clean energy, a cost worth paying. While clean energy is on the rise, Texas faces challenges in delivering it to households. Expanding renewable energy requires a costly build-out of transmission lines to transport electricity from rural wind and solar farms to urban areas. However, some residents believe it's worth the investment. The Sierra Club's stance. The truth is that gas has failed us when we needed it most, wrote the state's Sierra Club chapter after the subsidies for new plants were announced. We need to reduce demand on the grid by making buildings more energy efficient, and we need to invest more in local and distributed power systems like rooftop solar and battery storage. Our climate has changed regardless of how much fossil fuel-funded Texas politicians deny it. Folks, it's time for Texas to wake up and smell the pollution. The state's energy policies are not only harmful to the environment but also disproportionately impact Black communities. It's time to prioritize clean energy and protect the health and well-being of all Texans. Invest and earn money together with successful crypto traders. Copy trades and earn money. Click the link in the video description to get started. Until next time, keep your wits sharp and your crypto knowledge on point. It's Andrew signing off from BitsPuls. Remember to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Stay awesome!